Okay. We ready, Ty? Yep. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to the Administrative Land Use Authority meeting for June 11th. It is just a teeny bit after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We are at the Providence City Office Building at 164 North Gateway Drive. Um, we have Rob Stapley, our Public Works Director, Stephen Wood, our city engineer, and I'm Scarlett Bankhead, the Community Development Director. We make up the Land Use Authority. Also in attendance, we have Ryan Snow, our city manager, and Ty Cameron, our city recorder, and Colton Love, our zoning specialist, and several other hats that he wears. So, um, we have one item on our agenda today. It is a conditional use for short-term rental. It says the Administrative Land Use Authority will review, discuss, and may take action on a conditional use application for a short-term rental located at 808 South, 560 East in Providence. And I did not see any comments online for this agenda item. Did? Okay. All right, then I think we're good to go. Um, Bolton, if you want to introduce this item, that would be great.
Yeah, so this is in regards to application for requesting approval for conditional use business for short-term rental by Hillary Lewis. Um, should I read the background information or just go to findings of fact?
Just kind of summarize the background
Okay.
information.
So we received the application on June 2nd of this year, 2025, and it contained an application, business plan, site plan, and a statement describing the request. And our findings of fact. The following Utah and Providence City Code, or PCC, lists regulations and requirements to be considered. 3-4-5 home businesses, 10-6-1 use regulations, 10-3-5 establishes a standard for reasonable conditions, UCA 10-9A-507 conditional uses, and PCC 1-3-2 our definition for short-term rental. And is that all?
The conclusions.
Oh, conclusion. Sorry. Um, So Providence City has adopted ordinances in compliance with UCA 10-9A-507. Conditional uses allows the city to adopt a land use ordinance that includes conditional uses and provisions for conditional uses that require compliance with standards set forth in an applicable ordinance. PCC 10-3-5E establishes the standards for reasonable conditions. PCC 10-6-1 A and 12 in the use chart for residential uses and short-term rentals, or STR. The business plan outlines hours of operation / quiet hours and number of guests and parking. Applicant meets requirements of the findings and facts with the following conditions. Should I read those? Conditions: the applicant will apply for a business license pursuant to PCC 3-1-5. Applicant will meet the requirements for a home business listed in PCC 3-4-5. Applicant will operate the business in the manner described in the business description. Applicant will continue to meet all federal, state, county, and Providence City rules, laws, codes, ordinances related to operation of a home. Short-term rental. Approval by the city of any submitted application or paperwork does not alleviate the owners and or their agents from their responsibilities to understand and conform to local, state, and federal laws. Providence City's approval is not intended to and cannot be construed to allow any laws to be violated. And finally, applicant completes fire review if not done beforehand and obtains required fire extinguishers and necessary tags and other items.
Thank you. Hillary, did you get a copy of that?
From
The staff report? Have you?
Aaron.
No.
It was from Ty.
Oh, this?
Yes.
No. I don't know. Did I? Did you send me one? I didn't.
Yeah, I sent you the email.
It's in a link in the agenda, so if you go to the agenda
Oh, inside
And-
the agenda.
yep.
Okay.
and you click on staff report, that's what will pop up.
Okay.
And then on information is if you click on exhibit, then the information that you provided will pop up.
Okay.
So, do you have any questions about the staff report? Do you and Eleanor want to come up and sit at the table? Or she can stay back there. Yeah. Or you can stand if you prefer.
No, this is great.
Okay. If you would just state your name for the record, that would be
Larry Liu.
great. Okay. Um, Rob, Stephen, do you have any questions?
So the description you provided, the home would be for short-term rental through VRBO and whatever the other one is called.
Airbnb.
There you go. My first question is your neighbors, obviously you provided their contact and the notices went out from Providence, but have you done any other more personal communication with them, letting them know of your plans?
The neighbor
aware are
across the
they?
street knows that, like, we're friends. The two neighbors next to me are both up for sale.
Ah.
So,
Perfect timing.
Makes sense. I noticed that you had labeled it with 60 residents, or not 60 residents, sorry, 20 guests. Sorry for the terrifying thing.
so yeah, I'm just trying to have it versatile. 60 or 16?
20.
20?
I saw
Okay,
20.
yeah, that's
About 20.
probably
I
it.
apologize.
I'm just having it versatile. I'm sure there won't be that many beds used at one time, but
Yeah.
between twin beds and king size beds.
So I happen to be the engineer also for a community over on the south side of Bear Lake that is heavily short-term rentals, a lot of homes. And on a system-wide, in terms of the water infrastructure and stuff like that, the water usage becomes very, how do you say it, slinky or a spring effect. You'll have very, very minimum for nothing, and then you'll have massive usage because of short-term rentals. And I know that Providence is not a short-term rental community like this other
Yeah.
facility that I help serve. However, it's, I guess, are you aware of the billing rates that's applied to your home and how the water usage may impact your water billing rates?
No.
So it's
I mean,
not,
I do know. I mean, I look at my bill,
yeah,
but
it's going to go up.
that's okay.
So it's not so much a requirement or anything, but more of a question of just, are you aware of the impacts that it's going to have? And
I'm not real worried about it because I'm paying the mortgage either way. I don't want to sell my house because I'm hoping to come back here. It's just, well, actually, and I'm going to be here. I work here, but it's just a way to minimize my bills for the house
sounds good.
at the time. So I'm not real worried about it.
Okay.
Because the other option is to just leave the house empty on the days that I'm not there. So.
I guess on a related note to that, though, if you want to help ensure and protect your water bill, stash your hoses.
It's a good idea.
Those get left on full bore sometimes overnight, and it's amazing what that'll do to a water bill.
Well, funny story. We have a lot of neighbor kids, and we had chickens for a while, and I had a hose to water the chickens, and I'm sure one of the kids just turned on the water, and I flooded my basement.
Oh,
It was a nightmare. So since then, I've actually taken off the handles, and I just have the handles in a drawer in my house.
There you go.
So they can't get turned on unless you come in and get a handle.
Familiar with that problem as well to a degree, so yeah. Very
It was a $20,000 accident, but
Ouch.
okay.
I
well,
learned a lot.
Me too. I abandoned my sprinkler system, and for a while I still need to redo it, but yeah, those
Yeah.
floods are no fun.
On the sprinkler systems and the watering, the maintenance of the property, what's your plan for keeping up with the maintenance of the property? Is that something guests would be asked to be addressing? Is that something that you'd have a third party? Is that something you?
My daughter still lives here, and she's
Okay.
gonna mow the lawn, and I work up here. I'll be up here I live in Murray. There are other times, and my kids will live in Murray, except for my daughter that's going to school up here. She'll do the lawn, and I'll do the rest, and I have a cleaning lady that will help out.
This is still her primary residence in order to keep,
Yeah.
that's one of the conditions. It's not a condition, it's required by ordinance that,
This is
It's
still
still-
your primary.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
So
when
I'll
she's
be
not
here.
here, when she's in Murray, then she can rent it, so there'll be people in the house, but
Sounds
but
good.
she would, this is still listed as her primary residence.
Yes, for sure.
One other thing that I want to mention, we do require, short-term rentals to pay the transient room tax. So when you're getting your business license, you will need to get a tax number from the state so that,
Just a tax ID?
mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure how Airbnb, and it kind of depends on your third party that you go through. Some
Mm,
of those collect it and then remit it to us. I don't know how that's set up, but
okay. I'll figure it out.
yeah, you may need to get one. Do you know, Ryan?
Who are you using to try to manage the rentals? Are you going to manage on your own,
Yes.
or do you have a software or something advertising out there? Are you subscribed to an
I'm
Airbnb
just
or a
gonna do
VRBO?
Airbnb and VRBO.
Okay.
And-
Usually they'll, if you're using Airbnb or VRBO as an intermediary, lots of times they'll collect your tax or take care of that. But you just want to make sure that that it's being submitted.
It's being collected.
Yeah, lots of times if they make a reservation through there, then they'll take the tax and remit and give you what's left.
Mm,
You'll just want to make sure that it's paid though.
okay.
So
Any other questions?
It's a minor one, I guess. You're probably aware of the 30-foot easement behind your home. The city-owned sewer easement is what it is.
Okay.
I see on satellite view, you've got a bridge across I believe it's abandoned ditch right there nowadays, but
Yeah.
as far as parking and utilization of that back easement for this purpose, that's not your intent at all?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. I'll probably lock that gate.
Okay. Because it's not intended as a public road, even though it's public
No.
property.
Yeah.
It's an easement
We
for my
just
sewer
use
truck.
that bridge to walk. We just walk down the road.
You're not the only one it looks like that has a bridge
Yeah.
across there. But as long as I'm not obstructed to get my equipment back
Nope.
back through that easement.
No.
Just a couple good neighbor things to remember. You've got the quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. You might want to let the people know. We do let construction work and stuff. We let people start being noisy at 6 a.m. So it's great that you keep yours at 8, but if you get a complaint from your short-term rental people that says, hey, they were out doing their,
Trash truck
mowing their
comes.
lawn or something at 7 o'clock in the morning, that's okay to do. So,
Okay.
you also say that this includes 6 off-street parking spots.
Mhm.
Remember that off-street parking is not available during November 15th to April 15th because of
Oh,
the
the
snow.
on-street.
Oh,
on-street,
on-street,
yeah.
sorry, I read
We
that
have
wrong.
very little.
No,
And on
I'm
trash
sorry.
day, we don't have any because everybody in the inside of the loop has to put their trash on the outside of the loop. So I was just gonna say no parking on the street.
Okay, I apologize, I
That's
just
okay.
had that.
Yeah.
I even said off-street and still had that backwards in my mind, so I'm sorry. But anyway, just a reminder for your guests to not park during the winter time on the street.
Yeah.
I think we have one short-term rental that we got quite a few complaints about, but I think we finally got that taken care of. Just make sure your people are good neighbors. So,
Honestly, I think it'll be mostly my neighbors using it for family events. So, like when they have family come into town.
Okay.
I'm not going to advertise it too heavily. So, I'm
Okay.
not really worried about it.
okay.
But I will do my due diligence.
Okay.
and make sure we're good neighbors.
And then we received Aaron Walker's letter today, and he said in his email he was going to get you a copy of it.
Yes.
So, and he won't release so even if we approve today, part of the condition, as Colton read, the last condition was that you have to meet his stipulations.
Yeah.
And Colton called out a couple of them, but you would need to meet all the stipulations that he and the building department have on his letter here.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think I have any other reminders.
Okay.
Ryan, do you have anything? Colton, do you have anything else? No. Okay. Well, if we don't have any more discussion, then I would entertain a motion on this item.
I'll make a motion that we approve this conditional use for the short-term rental at 808 South, 560 East.
I can second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Rob Stapley, a second by Stephen Wood. One thing that I would like to remind everybody of, that is, we are land use decisions. We do base them on a staff report with the findings of facts and the conclusions and the conditions. So those conditions that he read are the ones that we will apply. The other thing that we will apply as conditions is what you have put here in your business plan.
Okay.
So if for some reason you are going to change something, then you need to come back and let us know that you want to change your business plan, and then we'll consider that for you. So,
Okay.
all righty. Okay. That being said, we'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It was unanimous, so your conditional use is approved.
Okay.
You can finish with the business licensing, and then as soon as you get the okay from the fire department, you'll be good to go.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Wish you much success with it.
Thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Have a great day.
You too.
There is not any other business on our agenda. So unless there's something that someone wants to bring up that we should consider for a future agenda, going once, going twice, no takers, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Motion by Stephen Wood, second by Rob Stapley. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
And our meeting adjourned at 2:21 in the afternoon. Thank you, everyone.